Hello, Robots in Disguise fans, and welcome to the after show for the season finale. We are covering episode 13, Decepticon Island Part 2. See you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Get your popcorn. I think we're feeling a little salty today. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the after show for the season finale. We're evidently having a groove session.
It's Adele. You gotta get it out, man. How do you not?
I like that part where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go part. Yeah. So let's roll right into this. I have with me Alexis the Wrecker Torres.
And I'm gonna wreck it at ATorres890.
Emma the Speedster Fyffe.
That's me. I can be found all over the internet at Emma Fyffe.
Megan Megan Salinas.
That's me. You can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
And I am Katie Kia Cullen. We're keeping an eye on the live chat. We also have a hashtag ABTVRID. Be sure to follow us and throw things on that. And oh yeah, my Twitter is at KiaXet, KIAXET. I am not all there today.
Where does KiaXet come from?
My days as a Kingdom Hearts fan. It was all
Oh.
no, the anagramming with an X, it stuck.
Okay, I thought so.
Stuck.
I didn't want to.
And now the world knows if they
Yeah.
didn't already know before.
Boy, it's almost like I'm a giant geek sitting on a panel talking about giant robots.
I know.
Which I don't understand why people don't love giant robots.
Me neither.
Like,
I actually had a conversation. First of all, my roommate loves Pacific Rim. She loves Pacific Rim. And I was like, oh man, did you ever see like Neon Genesis Evangelion? And she's like, no, I'm not really into giant robots. I was like, what?
Get out.
Wait,
This
wait,
is
so
not your usual flavor of giant robots,
Yeah,
to be completely honest.
but it's what
Still.
you can't say. I'm
Yeah,
my brain.
Yeah, I'm like, how can you like Pacific Rim and be like, nah, Gundam pass?
Oh, I'm so upset.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
Bring it back. We're already a little short on time. We got in here a bit late, so we need to actually swing into this episode. It's the season finale, and wow, we had a short season.
We really
so,
did.
If we couldn't tell from the opening to this episode, what did we think?
I mean, the opening of this episode. Well, I was disappointed that like Steeljaw was in charge. I really thought that
That they were playing him, or that they
Yeah.
had
We
some
any of
means
that.
of being able to disarm him.
Yeah.
If he did turn traitor on them.
Sure. Yeah, I would be lying if I didn't say I was very disappointed in that.
Yeah, and the fact that we didn't even get an awesome battle scene between
I know.
our Decepticons.
Yeah,
It was
like-
nothing.
It was meanwhile back at the ranch.
Yeah.
That was something we should have covered. And yeah, for this episode, for me, I was a little disappointed in the beginning. I was really disappointed in the last 2 minutes, and everything in the middle was like, I'm enjoying this.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Sure,
There's
yeah,
the
yeah.
occasional bits of but for the most part, it was just. The meat was good, but the bread was not fantastic in this Transformer sandwich.
Worst type of sandwich.
For
Very
me,
disappointed in that ending.
I'm kind of the same way. I think that as an episode and even as a season finale, this is good.
Yeah.
It's a good episode. It's a good season finale, but because we're the type of people who talk about this from a week-to-week basis and have had a long time to speculate and to really get our hopes up for new characters that were brought in and for returning characters and have a lot of speculation, and we hype ourselves up a lot because of the position that we're in. And so a lot of this episode fell short because, and I don't know if it was a production constraint because of the shorter season, but a lot of this episode fell short given everything that it had going for it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We do have someone who, I think it was on Twitter, it was a while ago, so I don't remember the name, said that season 3 is confirmed for this fall.
Yes.
And I want to say pictures or it didn't happen, because unless you have a press release or a statement or something official that says, yes, this is a thing, I'm not putting my eggs in that basket.
Please link us the article if there is one.
By all means, like, show us, give us the reference. But if it's just, it's confirmed, by whom? We need that.
Speaking of somebody on Twitter, Sound Drive writes, I can finally watch you guys live for once. Hi, everyone.
Lovely human beings.
some
Welcome
party
to the
soundtrack.
madhouse.
Yes. So glad you could join us.
So I kind of want to talk about the end of this. I want to do a short airing of grievances and then swing into but this was the fun stuff.
And that's the thing is there's a lot of good stuff in this finale. We don't want to like hate on it. It was just there are some things we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Yes.
The sad thing for me is that at the end of this, we're splitting up the team. We are sending Windblade and Optimus and Ratchet back to Cybertron along with most, if not all, of the series' villains. And the issue that I have with this is I am no longer interested in what happens on Earth. Because we know that Cybertron blames Optimus for everything that happened, thinks he's dead, got rid of Ratchet, and Windblade has been on a mission from God for, forever, so she hasn't been on Cybertron for a long time.
Yeah.
So what we have is a very politically charged situation where it's basically Optimus showing up and going, surprise, bet you thought you'd seen the last of me, with his right-hand man.
Yeah.
and the chosen one.
And the chosen one, who's showing up at a political regime that essentially hates him and has been scapegoating him, which makes this an incredibly charged situation, and I want to see what's happening on Cybertron.
That's what I was going to say.
And all of the really interested, we have Steeljaw and all of our...
Strike and Cybertronian
and Uncle PJ, all of our interesting villains. I
feel like
they're gone. What do we have left on?
I was gonna say because I feel like in the event of there being a season 3, we know there is supposed to be a follow-up movie at the very least. I think that what's happening on Cybertron at this point is infinitely more interesting than what's occurring on Earth because again, if we are, I understand like with Bumblebee and co. Yes, we're gonna establish a permanent base on Earth. We're gonna get a little more like Prime in terms of how established we are here. I just knocked over. I just knocked over Sideswipe.
That's not a very well balanced toy.
He probably deserved it. Anyway, but I feel like again, it's like, the problem is with the way they've split people at the ending is that you're leaving Bumblebee and the team. Many of the Autobots that you are incredibly invested in are still on Earth. However, none of the Decepticons that you're invested in are going to be on Earth anymore.
They've wiped the slate clean. They need to bring in a new villain.
Again, unless it's like
you're going to keep Earth engaging.
Yeah. Unless it's like, surprise, guys, Megatron's been here the whole time.
He's just hanging out in the lake. I was doing a Zen walk on Cybertron somewhere. So that
how do you twiddle your thumbs on Earth if you're a Transformer by yourself? Like, what do you do?
Well, we've taken not only have we taken all the interesting villains, we've taken the impetus for this mission in the first place, the Alchemor and all of the cons that have crashed off planet. They're gone. With the possible exception of Fracture, who may or may not be kicking around in the scrapyard in a stasis pod still. We just don't know. He was not appearing in this season. So we don't know what happened to that guy.
Yeah, that is true.
But we have nothing in terms of villains left. Like, everyone was on this ship. We're repairing the ship. We're sending it off. Unless season 3 is like, well, the ship's not really repaired yet, so the plan is for this, but we're all still here.
Right.
But it seemed really, really final.
It seemed rushed, again, given that every bit of build-up that we had. And again, one of the biggest disappointments is that we didn't get to see Glow Strike. Voiced by Grey Griffin, who is an amazing actress. And in terms of our villainous Decepticon female characters, our basis of comparison is Arachnid. So there's
by Gina freaking Torres.
There's a lot of high expectations when you bring in somebody like Glowstrike, who's an original character.
Sure, absolutely.
And like we spend the whole time thinking, oh, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? And all she did was get knocked out.
I know. And she gets a hold of a Decepticon handler and immediately draws attention to it. Like, oh no. No. That I guess we didn't have enough room in this episode for that plot. This would have been better served as a 3-parter.
I agree. Well, and on top of that, I was gonna say, and I honestly feel like there was so much buildup with Glowstrike and with Saberhorn and that whole crew that, like, this should have been a cliffhanger.
I should have been a
more indecisive ending. You know,
asked for a cliffhanger. If you'll remember last week, I asked for a cliffhanger.
No, I agree because there was there was too much buildup and too much interesting plot potential for them to wrap it all up in this one episode. I don't even think they should have wrapped it up in 2 episodes. I'm firmly of the belief that it should have been, it ended with this sort of open-ended, okay, well, we got out of there and we think Steeljaw's in stasis trapped on the island, but we don't know what happened to everybody else.
Now here's one thing. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We don't know what's going on the production side of things. Hasbro has been very generous to us in terms of giving us access to people like Adam and Therese and all the guests that we've had on.
Yes.
But we don't know the production side of things. This might have been a buffer in the event that they got canceled.
True.
Absolutely. So from that perspective of like, we don't know if we'll get a 3rd season. That I can understand.
You know what, Megan? I totally agree with you on that. And I have seen other shows do that, where it's basically like they wrap up the story enough in a season that it's like, all right, well, we see where this story could go, but we told that we
finished this
we see exactly. We see the additional stories that could come out of this story. Obviously, we've got a huge one with Optimus and friends going back to
Optimus and Co.
Going back to Cybertron. However, ultimately, because they did like wrap it up so conclusively, it is kind of the end of this story.
Yeah. Which, again, I see both sides of it. Because, like, if we had gotten a cliffhanger and then no season 3, we'd be even more disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, we'd be the Agent Carter scenario.
No. I believe in fan fiction. In terms of, I'm going to put that very simply, like, if you leave it open-ended, you have some very talented people in the fandom who will fill in the gaps to the point where you're like, you know, we didn't get a season 3, but this is my season 3. I am satisfied with this. I don't care.
Non-canonical.
Everyone,
Yes, I know, but
everyone's just going to
that's
start
what you
writing like
need.
crazy expanded universe Transformers stories.
Dude, I am down. Link me your crazy expanded universe Transformers Robots in Disguise stories. Seriously, I need a good read.
So I'm going to be a tiny bit of a positive little light, just a
Do
tiny
it.
bit.
Do the thing.
So we know that the Alchemore split into 2.
Yeah.
Correct? So
Just like Lost,
These are the people on the other side of the island.
So yeah, that's me going, maybe we'll find out that's why we're still on Earth, because we don't know where the other part of the Alchemore.
No, that's the thing. The back half is where Fix-It was,
Dang
and that's
it,
what we
never
thought.
mind.
And
I
the
thought it
front
was gonna
half
be-
is literally everything we had this season.
Season 3
Okay.
is about the smoke monster.
Yes, that's what it is. Or part 2, that it might be like a AVP kind of thing, where it's like everything looks fine, and all of a sudden someone pops out, and you're like, all right, we're gonna continue. I don't know.
What I would have loved is
I'm
that
trying to be positive.
we took care of most of the Decepticons. We took care of the ones that look like Underbite. We took care of the random Sharkticons. Like all of our, holy crap, there's 500 Decepticons here. Those are all taken care of in the stasis bomb. But Uncle PJ and Glowstrike and Scorponok, Saberhorn, that guy, and a few other larger ones got out. Leave Steeljaw in there because he's melted into the freaking floor. Like, that is a beautiful end.
That
I
was
love
great.
it.
That was crazy.
That
I was
was
just like,
incredible.
What are we doing? Oh, okay, it's just
I'm sorry, if you're gonna question for kids, Prime season 2 finale.
Let's not do that. But no, but
Let's dig up old trauma.
yeah. It was just really funny because I was just sitting there going, oh my god, he's melting into the
The floor is melting.
the floor is melting.
The floor
We're
is
fine.
lava.
Yeah, yes.
If
And he
we're in the
lost that
process
game.
of airing grievances, I will say, on the one, again, there's a lot of good stuff, and we'll get to the good stuff.
Yes,
There's
we
a lot
will.
of good stuff. But as somebody who is giddy for any mention of Prime or any reference to Prime or bringing in characters like Soundwave, I was really disappointed that bringing in Ratchet only ultimately amounted to exposition about Cybertron. That was the only
I needed that.
that was the only purpose that he served, which was, as somebody who adores Ratchet,
Yes.
that was really disappointing because that could have been done by anybody. Jazz could have called in and been like, hey guys, Cybertron, it's really messed up right now.
You know how to deal with him.
Ratchet sadly did not need to be there. They didn't need a medic for anything. They didn't need a ground bridge engineer for anything.
And the thing is, they did need all of those things this season.
At some point.
Also, I'm really sad that, oh gosh, no, I know what his mini
Undertone.
What the crap? He sat there and he was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And then he gets kicked into a stasis I was so mad.
Ratchet basically showed up 15 minutes late with a mini-con.
I actually thought him getting
that was
kicked into the stasis pod was funny.
I thought it was too.
I was so mad.
But it was also like, cue up Adele.
But
Here we go.
as much as I love him being here, as much as I love hearing Jeffrey Combs as this character, the Reanimator, as much as I love hearing him say his catchphrase, I needed that. It could have been anyone.
Yeah.
It could have been anyone. They could have made up a character that was formerly friends with Optimus and brought him in.
He's got a few friends. It could have been Ultra Magnus. Could you imagine that? If he would come down hard on Optimus's side, you need to listen to him. I guess we needed Ratchet for the power dynamic to be even.
But he
in that
wasn't even the one that like mitigated the conflict between Bumblebee and Optimus.
That's true.
He literally served no purpose except for making me happy,
Yes.
which was great, and I appreciate that. But a little bit more to do next time would have been awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. And especially, like, given the fact that, as I mentioned, they set up, I mean, we had issues with the ground bridge and Optimus was hurt. Like, there were better opportunities for Ratchet to have been introduced into the story. It doesn't mean that he couldn't still serve the same purpose of, like, it's crazy on Cybertron.
Cybertron is crazy.
Right, because that was important. However, they could have easily given Ratchet more to do.
Exactly.
Had him actually make a difference instead of show up and be like, I'm fan service.
Well, could
Minicons.
you
Yeah.
imagine, like, it would have made so much more sense if he had run into Optimus when the B team was away.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, when Optimus still needed medical attention.
Yeah.
Like we said, he's the one that can make Optimus sit down and pay attention. Except that didn't actually happen because when he tried, Optimus just went, "That's great, conversation over." Like,
Windblade, I have a thing to show you.
I will say I did enjoy the resolution of Bumblebee and Optimus's
Yes.
disagreement. Especially because, I mean, anyone, I felt like I really personally related to it. Just like anyone who's ever been in a scenario where you are, say, in Bumblebee's position and you are like gaining a lot more responsibility, it is very difficult, I think, both on the part of whoever is sort of rising.
The mentor and the mentee.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult for both people because the mentee wants to prove themselves and usually the mentor has a really hard time letting go. And so you end up having multiple voices being like, I'm in charge, which is exactly what was going on here. And I thought that, you know, B had a really good point where he turned Optimus's own words back on him and was like, one voice needs to lead. Like, otherwise, it's a problem.
Yeah.
I have always done this. You spent all season on the other side of the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of last season in another dimension.
Yeah.
But King Kai planet, man.
Yeah,
I'm just still going to fly.
yeah, it was definitely B going, yeah, you've always led, but you have zero context for 90% of this. And I
Yeah.
have all of the context and have been doing this. And look, I completely respect you, but seriously, you gotta let me do this.
My one complaint about the resolution is we talked about this before, but it's the same complaint I sort of had with AMC's George Washington turn episode about George Washington last season. He never apologized.
Yeah.
He without saying sorry, he was clearly sorry, and they made amends and everything like that, but he never apologized.
No, it's just like how we were talking about in the last episode with like parents, where sometimes they just can't say sorry because they're like, I'm still.
He never acted accountable for his actions.
And he clearly knew that he was in the wrong making this decision. And that's the thing, like, Turn is meant for adults, so we can sit here and go, yeah, no, this is a show for adults, like, we get the nuance of this. This is meant for the 9 to 13-year-old range, where it's still pretty good to have a character apologizing when they're like, yeah, no, I completely screwed that one up and I shouldn't have done X. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we needed that. And we knew going in, and Optimus knew going in, that he made a bad decision.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing the wrong thing, and he did it anyway because he thought it was for the right reasons.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Happy thing.
Is that all the grievances we want to air? Do we want to talk about the good stuff now?
Yeah, I'm down.
I love the army of fix-its.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just the Braveheart freedom! Like,
I was like, Mitchell.
You guys, Toolbox really was just dumb. He wasn't a traitor.
You win.
you get a box, but not a box of tools. I am a little disappointed that none of the fix-its took the time to fix it. I wanted that to happen.
I was so mad at the very end, even when he was still glitching.
There's 40
I
of
was
you.
like,
Someone
guys,
take 15 and fix this guy.
Somebody, just, I don't know, whack him up beside the head. Just open him up. Something. I just want you to fix it. No, you're gonna go. You're gonna leave. Okay.
Well, he has to have personality, so.
Yeah. No, I loved the. I did. I loved the Fix It Army. I loved Minicon power, man. Like,
I love the skateboarding behind them at the end of the thing where they're just latching on, and it's this little
Like,
crack the whip.
And
Is what we played.
and it was nice to see the onslaught of minicons, the minicon zombie apocalypse working in our favor. You know what I mean? Because the last
not terrifying way.
Zombie apocalypse.
But that's what it is, because
my God.
it's that same kind of, they're just they're actually not that destructive, in the grand scheme of things, but they're just relentless, and there's a lot of them. So
they were able to hold off Steeljaw long enough.
Yeah.
And I loved
Crazy.
that moment. I was talking about this a little bit with Megan, and you brought up the fact that we keep forgetting that Decepticon hunters are actually extremely powerful tools and extremely versatile, because we only ever see them as the sword, the staff, the crossbow.
Right.
We're oh yeah, that's because our heroes are stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
They're creatures of habit.
what they envision them as. But, as we see with Steeljaw here, it's when he is locked in the battle with Optimus and Bumblebee. Exactly. And he's like, how great. I imagined a laser beam and it happened.
And he's a bot with vision, guys.
Yes.
He really is.
We forget that the Decepticon hunters can do all this, and then it's oh yeah, that's a thing.
Oh yeah, that's exactly when he was like, I'm gonna make this giant spear, Decepticon hunter, and just start screaming. I was just like, what's that gonna?
Oh yeah, we're having flashbacks to last season finale. Oh, they were in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
so-
Oh yes.
And-
He's very powerful.
Not to mention, again, Troy Baker. He just going full supervillain was really, really fun to hear.
My favorite bit of this was just when he was so desperate at the end and he howls. I'm like, oh, I got
chills. I had a Troy Baker weekend because I played Tales from the Borderlands, and I'm not Troy Baker in my brain all the time.
If you play any video game,
No,
chances are you'll have Troy Baker on.
the main monologuist in these two things, so it made sense.
He was in rare form this episode.
It was great.
Great. He
I
just
loved
went
it.
off the villainous deep end, and it was great.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I did like the use of slow-mo in that fight to be like, yeah, we've seen them beat each other up all the time. It's slow-mo. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
And just that bit where you see B making the decision that setting this off is more important than me, and turns his back to Steeljaw even though he knows it's probably going to kill him. And then the flying prime kick.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for it. I was like, there has to be an Optimus Prime kick somewhere in slow-mo.
Oh no, I was watching it like this. Going, this is why we brought the medic back. This is why we brought the medic back.
Except
Oh, we
it's
don't
not.
need him. Never mind.
Except, you know what I did like? I did like our female bots were in top form this time around. Windblade recognizing that these guys are acting like children and being really non-effective, acting on her own to create a distraction was really good. And I loved Strong Arm and Sideswipe. This is the first mission they've gone on being back together. And there was a little bit of jealousy from Sideswipe being like, aren't you concerned about your new best friend? And she's like, well, yeah, but if they had taken you, I'd be a total basket case. And it was just like,
Mitchell is
I was like,
smiling.
Mitchell, I hate you so much for putting that stupid thing in my head.
I
now.
know,
I was like,
right?
ship
Don't
it
want to
now.
ship it. Torpedo it.
No. I'm like, dang it. It's so cute though.
It was
cry.
it was
so
I mean,
It was super cute.
it was adorable.
yeah,
and I wanted to
you
cry.
know that Mitchell steered me in that direction.
Yes.
So I'm
Mitchell.
kind of all about it. It was so cute.
I can't wait to see all
your
the fan art.
your new bestie.
Mitchell.
Teamies.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. When Grimlock was like, are you sure you want to break up the team within a team that Drift and I got going out here? And Drift is like, we have nothing going on.
I think
my
my
God.
notes at the end of that is like, fine, I'll be your teammate. Sheesh. Those are my notes for the end of the episode.
I just want a buddy comedy about Grimlock and Drift.
One really positive aspect
Lethal bot instead of lethal weapon.
of this episode is that all of our heroes got 1 or 2 really good moments. And in like a 22, 24 minute episode that's supposed to wrap up everything.
That's Drift.
No, he got that comedic moment at the end. Because if you want to make that argument, Grimlock didn't do a ton either.
True.
That's true.
But they brought that comedy to it.
Yeah.
And so everybody got a little bit to do. Even Jetstorm and Slipstream.
Yeah.
They got a little
It has
something.
been the season of minicons.
That's exactly what I was
telling
gonna
ya.
say. This season was the season of minicons.
Yeah.
And I want a shirt that says the season of minicons.
The season of minicons.
Because it was great. I loved every minute of that, and I want a little bit more. Maybe a little bit less and a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I definitely wanted more of Jetstorm and Slipstream. Oh my god, they're so adorable.
Guys, I need, if you're listening, you need to watch on YouTube, because I need like yay size plushies. They have, at the Transformers gift shop outside of Transformers The Ride 3D at Universal, they have a really cute Bumblebee plushie of about yay size and a really cute Optimus plushie of about yay size. But I feel like if you like G1 like 80s, yeah, they're so cute. But if
you
like
make a
Jetstorm
mini
and Slipstream, hello, they are approximately that size in real life. I feel so.
It's like, I'm just gonna keep it forever.
Yeah,
I love them.
It's just gonna be sitting on my couch
oh
protecting
man,
me.
now I want to go buy one of those Bumblebee ones tomorrow.
The one thing, at least for me, because we all know how Uncle PJ's real close to my heart. That's stupid.
I mean, he is your uncle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I
but
love
the
having
stomping
them back.
was driving me insane.
Well, that's his thing.
I know, but that's why I was just like.
But it is nice to see. It's like, remember, he was a boss on Cybertron. It's like, it's when with all these new characters that we had, and with him constantly getting berated by Steeljaw,
Sidelined.
Yeah, every time.
You forget how big of a deal Uncle PJ actually is.
He started a cult, you guys. He started a cult.
I told my uncle that, and he was like, "I would never do that." I'm like, "Don't lie."
So
You sure?
Yeah.
at Omega Ruby Night on Twitter in the hashtag has a really very good question. If only one character from Prime who we haven't seen yet could come back, who would you pick?
One character?
One character.
Like, do we mean one human and one...
That took no thought. Knockout.
One human and one bot, or just bots?
Just one.
Or just characters?
I would say
one
just
person.
one.
Just RC.
Yeah, same here. RC.
See, I'm torn between her, Arachnid.
Yeah, that's true.
Wrath.
I know, I do love Raph, but
just
gotta get to
dynamic.
this story
you
would be
guys,
really great.
I have like such a love of Starscream because it's such
You're
a
with
train
me
wreck.
in the no body, no death theory.
Oh yeah,
He totally didn't get eaten alive. He's fine.
Absolutely.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I really
Really
want,
good question though.
I
Yeah,
really like
that.
I just want an episode of Starscream and Steeljaw running circles around each other and occasionally colliding because it's the
beautiful.
oh my god, all I can think of is like Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's you activated my trap card. Well, you activated my trap card. Well, you activated like that's what it would be.
Well,
that's what it would
We got
be.
a few in the chat that wanted. Marcy Dalmatian said Bulkhead. Jazzy J says Wheeljack. Allie says smoke. Well, I don't know.
Smoke screen.
Smoke screen. Same thing with Night Chick. Kiki Stubb said Raph. Notorious Benjamin said Fowler.
Oh yes,
I'm retired.
retirement.
Yes. And then we have. I know, I love him.
I was done with all this bot stuff years ago.
And RC and Arachnid for sure.
yeah.
Knockout would be good too.
Here's
He
the
agrees.
thing for me. I don't think we need Bulkhead when we have Grimm because they fill much the same role. I don't think we need Smokescreen when we have Sideswipe because
Sure,
they
sure.
fill much the same role.
No, true.
It's not that they're interchangeable.
No,
it's that
by no
they're
means.
extremely similar. And so
Yeah.
bringing them in is like, yeah, we got a nostalgia bot, but what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Whereas your Starscream, your Knockout, your Ratchet, your whoever is like, oh yeah, no, there's not really a parallel for them on this team.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
fill a unique role that hasn't
Yeah.
been filled yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. All in all,
So I'm just going to rain on everyone's parades here.
Well, also, you would have to think of which ones serve the best purpose in terms of the story that they have going on, and bringing in somebody like Raph would make sense given
make
his
total
relationship
sense.
to Bumblebee.
Oh my god, I want that so badly.
Yeah.
I think my favorite like character what was it? Fan theory that somebody tweeted at us was that Hank is actually Raph's daughter.
Yeah.
I think they tweeted that she was Raph's sister.
I thought it was
It's
daughter.
been too long for it to be
Too long for
Anyway.
sister. Definitely down for, oh yes, my small child encountered robots. So this is a thing, and
Yeah.
But
Sound Drive writes, put on Twitter, if Thunderhoof actually stomped on them, they'd need a different age rating.
Yeah.
For their show.
Oh yeah,
Very
that's
different.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, a
so
little
just
bit.
watching them just bounce up and down, I was like, oh, it's the one time when Uncle PJ jumped into a jumper and he's the only adult, so then all the kids. You know, so that's why I was
Bouncing off the
upset
wall.
because I was very little and he did that. And I was like,
does anybody remember what our bet this season was? Because
No.
Hank was our bet last season.
my computer died. I was trying to bring it in because I think I have it on one of my notes, and I don't. And it's
Hey,
dead.
chat, what was our bet this season?
what was our bet and who won?
I don't think anyone did. I feel like it's another one of those ones where we said it and no one won.
We'll put a poll up on Twitter. Who won the bet?
Literally, 1, 2, 3, 4. Literally no one.
Yeah, I don't think we won that. But
I did like Thunderhoof, just the comment about it doesn't matter how many battles you win as long as you win the last one.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, no, he who laughs last, etc. He's got a good point. Ground Pounder coming back was like, I remember you. All right.
yeah,
I didn't really.
I
He
liked
existed?
Overlord just because I love the theatrical.
Overlord.
I love the theatrical bots.
Just
They're fantastic.
improv. Like, no, improv's amazing. You stop that.
Slapstick.
and I was just like,
How
Yeah.
pedestrian.
Like, that is Drift's moment this season. He accidentally hit Ratchet in the back. Yeah.
Poor Ratchet.
I love Drift. I am so sad that he's become everyone's butt monkey.
oh yeah.
He's just making me love so much more.
He had a great moment 2 episodes ago, though.
He did after he got his chassis handed to him.
I'm telling you guys, the big things are coming for this Grimlock and Drift team up.
I still
you
want
know-
this buddy cop thing to happen. It's gonna be great.
Grimlock for president.
They did a bunch of shorts. He'd be a better president than Trump. They did a bunch of shorts on YouTube. I can see this buddy cop
It
thing
has to
being
be.
one of those where Grimlock's trying to like sneak around and stuff, and Drift is just following him like, this is my life.
I want this
These are
to be
my
like,
decisions.
I'm getting
He's
too
making
old
his
for
own theme music, and then his mini-cons are just totally getting into it. Just like,
Yep.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Leave
No.
a bot. Make it happen.
Another missed opportunity is that Denny and Russell were sadly absent for most of the
they
episode.
did nothing.
They were
They got
sadly absent from most of the episodes this season. Actually, that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about the first season was I felt like right out of the gate we were really using the human characters in an interesting way. Not that Prime didn't. Prime certainly did, but I felt like Prime, it took a little bit of a while to get into the rhythm with the human characters.
Because it's like, we protect you, you guys stay here.
Right,
it's
exactly.
dangerous when you get involved.
Right. Whereas we're starting Robots in Disguise from a point of view of, well, actually, I've from Beast's perspective anyway, I've worked with humans. I know that humans
Yeah,
are
they're
helpful
great.
and they're a good resource. So
It's kind of done the reverse, hasn't it? It
Yeah.
started off with, you guys, we could use all the help we can get. You guys serve a very important function to the team.
Right.
And then towards the end of last season, when Satan came down from the sky, they essentially, they kind of steered them off to the sideline, but they still served a purpose of making sure no other innocent civilians came in. Here, they were very much on the sidelines as just standby in case of emergency.
They're still supposed to make sure that no innocent civilians come in, but we never had a moment where innocent civilians tried to come in. Again, this should have been 3 parts so we can actually do that. So we could have had a subplot with Glow Strike planning a counter-rebellion. So we could have...
Sure.
It was just too much squished into too little time.
Again, this is why I feel like they ran out of time.
Yeah, I agree.
Again,
Allie said
Better
that
than
Russell
running
had to
out
go
of
back to
budget.
school. That's why we didn't see him as
Russell,
often.
yeah, well, it's tough being 10.
I mean, jeez.
I would say, does he go to school? But I think we've actually referenced that he does.
he does.
Yeah, because I think he came back after school, and I think Denny was just like, "Hey, I was cool," and he was just like, "Boring," through his backpack.
boring.
and
My
it just
life
won't
involves
work.
giant
Like,
robots.
robots.
Everything is boring by
I would ask to
comparison.
be homeschooled at that point. I'm like, no.
Just like nothing else is ever going to compare.
No.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good music in this episode as
Yes.
well.
Super good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, some of the musical cues were just like, oh.
Yeah.
My feelings, I needed that.
Yeah. No, the music and the sound design is really just solid in this show in general. I feel like, and the animation's great.
Oh yeah,
and
every single time.
again, it's like there are so many really good story points, and the last 3 episodes I feel like were just awesome.
Good.
And so in this one again, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be given all the build up. And I think
Yeah.
that we kind of all agree on
I
that.
think we all individually had our own idea of how this season would wrap up.
Yes, true.
And
Yeah.
what we got was just different from that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Has chat figured out what our bet was yet?
No, they're talking about dumping Trump into the Decepticons, and I said, no, Megan and I will not want that.
No.
No.
We do not want to be
Unless-
affiliated
no.
with that
Yeah,
guy.
no.
Trump is like Unicron, sort of. No one wants this. Literally no one wants this.
I don't even want to give him that much credit. Granted, his head is that big.
No, in terms of no one wants this.
Yeah.
Yes, so and then now they're talking about like like Allie was saying, season 1 was summer, and now we've hit September, like with everything.
So there's going to be a
Christmas
great
episode.
Christmas special.
oh my god, if
Christmas and Halloween. Christmas and Halloween.
Please explain.
I'm super glad we both went there.
Yes,
Oh my
I would be so
Yeah.
happy.
Well, TFA did a Christmas episode.
Well, because the last season, for season 1 wrapped up in September, so
Yeah.
if there's a season 3,
Supposedly
Yes.
season 3 is
Magical
going to
season
be this fall, but
Yes.
I mean, at this point, supposedly there's a season 3, and supposedly that's when it's going to happen. Again, pictures
Yeah.
where it didn't happen, you guys. We can't not go on.
Should we go ahead and
Yeah.
talk about what direction season 3 could possibly go in?
So what you're saying is, should we swing into predictions?
Yeah.
In just a minute.
don't say the word predictions.
Stopped.
So Mark is really super on top of it. He's like, I heard predictions. I'm just gonna go.
Sorry, Mark. That was my bad.
I usually give people a warning.
I think that was.
Sorry, Mark.
warning.
I thought it
is that
was.
we talk about iTunes before predictions.
I thought it was.
Sorry, don't usually
I thought it was a very good transition myself.
Yeah.
It's all good. Do the thing.
Anyway, if Chad has anything to say about this episode, now's the time because we got like a minute and a half delay. We're going to talk about iTunes because you guys are lovely human beings and you've been
Yeah.
leaving us iTunes reviews and we love you. Does anyone have iTunes open?
I do,
'Cause
but
we
I
have a new one.
We do. I have it. I actually also wanted to give a shout out to @_DebStupp on Twitter, who wrote us a note, which she tweeted at us saying, not a lot of my friends in school like Transformers, and you gals really filled the void there. Really surprised that you gals love Transformers too. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. And she also was the one who said that season 3 was confirmed. And as I say, we're not doubting you at all,
Yeah, we
but
just
like
wanna
just
see.
link us to your source because
Yes.
like if you can provide us with a source, we will be rejoicing because
1000%
we
down for
super
it.
duper need it.
Oh, we'll talk about it in
Oh my
predictions.
god!
Okay, and then hold on.
I started scrolling a little through the hashtag and somebody tweeted something
that Jack
before the show.
Skellington?
No.
I miss
No,
you,
well,
Jack
so-
Skellington.
iTunes.
Yeah, the iTunes. We have from Brio Rouge, love it with a heart emoji. Love the review, and I love that fans aren't the only ones who are concerned about Glow Strike. I think they should bring her back. Just let her escape from stasis and get the action she deserves. Grey Griffin was awesome, and they should bring her back. I agree.
Well, let's think about it. Steeljaw he showed us earlier that, if I do X, the stasis doesn't apply to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and
That
somebody
sentence-
also, I think it was on
I
my
got it.
Instagram, maybe somebody commented on some Sailor Moon thing that I was doing. They're like, Sailor Moon is the best. I love Sailor Moon. Don't you think they should have Glow Strike come back and have like a magical girl transformation? I was like, oh yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
All in favor of any and all magical girl transformations in any given show, especially one involving robots.
iTunes people, all of our hands are up.
Yeah.
So you leave a review on iTunes, we will definitely give you a shout out because we love you guys, and that is the best way to support us. That is the best way to keep this after show on air as long as Robots in Disguise itself is on air, because it tells our producers, hey, we really like these people talking about giant robots. We should let them continue talking about giant robots. And here we are. So yeah, should season 3 be a thing, leave your iTunes reviews, subscribe on iTunes, rate us 5 stars, leave a comment, know that we adore you, and if we had an episode after this, we'd be reading all your comments out loud.
Yes.
We don't have an episode after this. It's the last episode for this season.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, because I spaced this last week, and I'm sorry, to one of our biggest Tumblr fans, Cyclone Rachel, happy belated birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Sorry I missed it last week. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your recommendations on Tumblr. You are a lovely human being. She's the one that writes the really long posts about how great we are and how everyone should watch the show.
It's
So
fantastic.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yes, are we good on all of the... Now we should probably swing into predictions.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mark. I'm sorry.
Now, your
And the Late
AfterBuzz
Show.
TV.
And it's changing colors. I'm so happy. So talk about this thing that you found in the tag, and please retweet it because I'm crying with laughter.
You go right ahead.
I'm so
I'm dying.
happy. So for those of you who are fans of Transformers Animated, Sentinel Prime was a thing. He was an awful, awful bot. And it just... Arrogant, disgust for Earth, stickler for trivial rules, trying to retcon Optimus Prime, questionable leadership skills, condescending. Who could possibly be running Cybertron?
And someone tweeted. Somebody tweeted this at us.
Please retweet this. Oh my god, I am so happy.
It's Ramonte
That's amazing.
Fransman on Twitter. Thank you,
Thank
Ramon.
you, Raymond. We love you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
This
my
is the funniest thing. I'd buy it. If Sentinel wasn't already a Prime who was presumably dead, I would totally buy it because every iteration I don't think I've ever seen any positive iteration of Sentinel Prime.
Sentinel freaking
And even,
Prime.
TFA, he wasn't overtly evil. He was just 100% self-centered.
I believe they call that lawful dickish.
Occasionally he could be reasoned with, but
If
we're
appeal
talking
to
about
his
the
ego.
movies or I think he was in 1 or 2 of the anime series, and he's never been good.
Leonard
Never been
Nimoy
good.
voiced Sentinel Prime using his Xehanort voice. That tells you pretty much everything you need to know if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan.
Yes, cool. Okay, so I'll have to watch that later at Night Chick 0883. But Alexis and I did not notice you saying that you had tweeted us the link to the video where they apparently there is confirmation for season 3, which was from BotCon 2016. So
we
Great,
will,
so
we will look at it
recently.
later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the not quite so mythical season 3.
Wish list stuff would be if we concurrently got stuff with Earth and Cybertron, so that we could get this politically charged stuff that we were talking about earlier, while also getting a new and/or returning threat on Earth.
Yeah.
To keep Earth compelling, like drop somebody like Starscream down on Earth, or have one of the bots escape from stasis and have to scrounge for new stuff.
I agree, but I do agree that it needs to be a returning villain, be it a surprise, I'm Uncle PJ and I got out, or
Glowstrike got out, and we get to see her running the show. and just being
right,
completely awesome, from what I assume.
as you say, drop a Starscream in there or something.
I feel like Starscream, like Soundwave, brings consequences that this show is not prepared to handle. I feel like this show cannot handle Prime level consequences.
Depends on the day for Starscream.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
say
is someone where you could kind of nerf it a little bit and still have it work. Soundwave, we had that really just absurd Three Stooges comedy moment where he couldn't hit a child who was running in
Again,
base.
plan so stupid they outsmarted a genius.
yeah.
Pretty much. I believe they call that chaotic stupid. What was that? I'm trying to remember what the alignment.
I don't know. I don't know.
Goodness.
chaotic,
Apparently,
stupid, and it
I just need to share this with you guys. So at Sienna Pup 1024, again, I want you to tweet me your source for this, but it says, did you hear that Prince has an unreleased Transformers themed soundtrack?
Damn it!
What?
Dang it!
Is that a thing?
Yeah, called Pure Energon.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, if that's for real.
I don't know if that's real, but if it is, I want it. But if it's not, then I will still. I want that on the show.
don't-
If it's a purple rain, it'll be pure energon.
Don't toy with our hearts if it's not true, guys.
There's multiple levels to the feelings toying with this one. So
I will actually
again,
cry.
straight up confirmation, or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because that hurts to think about.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. Oh, but
Yeah.
also that's the same person for, I think, Marcy Dalmatian is the one that put that in the
Yes.
chat.
Oh, okay.
It's also her parents' 35th anniversary.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Anniversary.
Happy anniversary. She wanted us to say that out loud. But I was gonna also say about the fact of that's why I was thinking that it was gonna be someone escaping from the Alchemor, was because remember when I don't know who was the one that broke out first, but Ratchet was like, "Oh no, I still needed that." I didn't know if that was because they broke through the stasis pod, and he was saying that he still needed that to be fixed. So I thought maybe that would just be a broken one, and then whoever was in that broken one would break out and let everybody out.
Oh, I thought that was just gratuitous catchfriend.
That's what I kind of thought
I didn't
too.
know. I thought because I know
Because I was sitting here
phase.
going, what did he need a stasis pod?
That's what I was confused about. So I was like,
Well, we don't know where Fracture went, so he's
That's also true.
still a possibility. I'm definitely favoring the idea of, Glowstrike and Saberhorn got out.
Yeah.
And or I mean, just they go full out there and have Quintessian invasions while Optimus is away. But I feel like we have to return to Cybertron at some point,
Yeah.
because if progress and development happens on Cybertron and we get it in more exposition, that's gonna feel like a cop out.
And I would just like to see a new location in general. I mean, after watching
Crown City's great, but
Human villains.
Oh, I didn't even think
Like
about
Mech?
that being an
Like
actual...
Mech!
Wow, I completely forgot about that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think
never
the
forget about
closest that
Clancy
we've
Brown
gotten-
as a villain.
No, of course
The
not, but
closest
you know what
that
I
we've
mean.
gotten is that one guy who was kind of a sleazeball and trying to break into the scrapyard and accidentally got footage of Fix-It, like, okay, cool, whatever. Let's have these conspiracy theorists that we've been bandying about. Let's have someone actually malevolent trying to catch on to the fact that there are giant robots. Someone
makes
who
sense.
can do something
Yeah,
about it.
I mean, especially after watching Rescue Bots completely fully through and loving every minute of it, as much as Megan knows that I love Decepticons, it was kind of cool seeing a whole...
a human villain who was like had like a Ra's al Ghul thing going.
I loved it.
beautiful.
And I would love to... That would make so much sense, and I would love that for
Or
the next
even just a
season.
human villain who's kind of like a neutral evil Huxley Prescott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I'd
got a
take that.
YouTube channel and he thinks more of himself than he does everyone else. I
Yeah.
mean, these people exist.
Yeah.
Chat agrees.
Yep.
Yeah, so we need human villains. If we're sending
That would be
Optimus
so
and
cool.
everyone off to take care of the big stuff on Cybertron and we don't have any Decepticons left, give us human villains. Give us human villains that pose a threat that we can't necessarily punch away.
Yep.
Like Mech.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
Admittedly,
punch
we
them
did a
away
movie, yeah.
if you really wanted
they're
to.
not gonna really
But
do
of
that.
course, that's contrary to Autobot sentiments and
That's a little dark.
values.
That is a little dark.
I'm just saying, you could.
I mean, this is why Megan...
Could punch them away. I'm just saying.
Squishy humans, whatever. Like, no, that's boy,
squishy
that escalated quickly. That really got out of hand.
Talking to Megantron here. I'm just saying.
I am.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, Lord Megatron, come on.
I forget that
Decepticon.
sometimes.
That happens. Night Chick actually said the Crown City fan club turns to the dark side when the robots destroy the town's favorite ice cream parlor. Dun, dun, dun.
Why does that sound like a Powerpuff Girl
I
episode?
would love that
Because it might have been.
No, if someone can make little chibi versions of Autobots into Powerpuff Girls, I would love that
It
so
was
much.
the one
Stop motion.
family that
Yeah.
kept getting like mildly inconvenienced by the Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
They turned villain.
They're like the My Cabbages guy from
Cabbages.
Poor cabbage merchant.
Yeah, it would be great.
Okay, so we are getting to Q to wrap up. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the season? On the season?
No, just want to see more.
Yeah, I
Yes.
loved the season of mini-cons. I'm ready to do something completely different and blow my mind.
Loved the callbacks to Prime. Really,
Yeah.
again, stellar animation. Really good stuff this season. Let's hope for some new locations next season. And just a lot of good stuff.
Hoping for new locations, hoping for some info on Cybertron, definitely hoping for a resurgence of the human element because we have been missing that. But overall, I had a hell of a time with this season. I had a great time.
Yeah,
Oh,
Love
it's
it.
fantastic.
More teamy.
Megan's my team. Whether whether she likes it or not.
We have nothing
Anyway,
going on.
Alexis, where can the people find you?
I think I might have found the link for that Prince album. Hold on. You can find me wrecking it at atorres890. Check out my YouTube channel. I do vlogs and things like that. I might be putting up my tattoo vlog in actually a couple of days.
Nice.
Right.
Sweet. I'm Emma Fyffe. I can be found all over the internet wherever Emma Fyffes are sold at my name, Emma Fyffe. I do some shows here at AfterBuzz TV. Sailor Moon Crystal still happening. Megan and I are both on that show, so if you guys like watching other animated stuff, you should totally check that out. Also, if any of you guys live in Hawaii, on Oahu specifically, this coming weekend, May 20th through the 22nd, I will be at Amazing Hawaii Comic-Con. I will be there doing all kinds of programming. I also have a giant robots versus kaiju panel on that Sunday, which is going to be a whole lot of fun.
Relevant to your interests.
Yeah, totally relevant to your interests. If you live in Hawaii, check it out. If you don't live in Hawaii, you should fly to Hawaii and come anyway.
Yeah, make a vacation out of it, guys. Hawaii's great.
She's the thing.
I am worth it.
There you go.
L'Oreal.
I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz. I write articles for The Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. YouTube channel is a whole bunch of reaction videos. You can mostly see us laughing at Rooster Teeth things. It's beautiful. I am on so many shows, so many of which are ending. Turn is at a special night tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Blind Spot, we are doubling down on the season finale, so you get 2 episodes next week. And Arrow, I'm just not going to be here this week. And the reason for that is we're going to Spokane to be in Z Nation, you guys. So if you're in Spokane this week, hit us up. We'd love to see you. Awesome times. Yes, we also have shirts. T-Public. T-Public. Search Kiaxet at T-Public. There are AfterBuzz shirts. It's great. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode and for all season. You know we love you.
Yeah.
See you in the hopeful season 3. And as always, rev up and
Roll out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
I needed that.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.